Big nyash, big breasts, puffy lips. I call them duck lips. If you just open your Instagram page, man, that's all you get. And trust me, my algorithm is betraying me because I really don't look at big nyash. But I don't know why I have big nyash all over my timeline.
It might be the people that you follow. That's what they're looking at.
See, I'm innocent too. I really don't scroll and look at big nyash or ducky lips. But this is the standard we see today. When did all of this become the standard of beauty or so-called?
I mean, I don't know. I remember growing up, right, and being a teenager. At that time, it was the whole, being busty. I remember the page. I think this was page 3, right, in the Sun and all these newspapers, where the page 3 models, they'll have their breasts out. And I felt like I remember during that period, like breast enhancements then really was like a thing, and everyone was like, oh yeah, But I think during that time, it was still something that your everyday woman, it wasn't something that was easily accessible. But I feel like now, it's like, it's so easily accessible. One, because now you can travel to get it done. So I don't know, you can go to Turkey, you can go to
access to it.
Colombia. I don't know, you can go to all these different countries.
Nigeria, they're doing it in Lagos.
Yeah, they're doing it in Lagos.
I know somebody whose brother actually has got a clinic.
Yeah, you can do it. And once again, like if you can get a BBL done, or you can get a breast enhancement or whatever for 5K, that's achievable. You can easily save up 5K, or you can take out a loan, for instance.
Take out a loan to get big nyash.
But between me and you, right, it's a stupid thing to do, but there are people that are doing it.
Okay, good. They're doing this. The question was, when did this become a beauty standard of beauty? And you went back to the days of the page 3. Do they still do page 3?
I don't think they do it anymore. But I don't know. I don't remember last time I saw a newspaper or any of those newspapers.
Because I remember working in the construction industry, you just could not miss it.
Yeah.
All the laborers had it splashed all over the wall and your cubicles.
Yeah.
You walk everywhere, it was busty, naked breasts. It was mainly naked breasts and all of that. It was naked some were very proud because some of the people were their girlfriends and all, so they were kind of proud.
Interesting.
So that's the media. So the media was portraying that as a thing to behold. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So I would want to expect after that, girls with tiny little nipples would want, oh, that's beauty. I'm not beautiful. And it affects them mentally. They would have wanted to look like that. Then big nyash as well. People started doing big nyash. And if I go on Google, it's telling me it became popular because of people like Kardashian, Kylie Jenner, Iggy Azalea, Cardi B, and Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
It became popular with these ones because if you look at the days of Fox, what's that lady called, that rapper?
Oh, I know who, Foxy Brown and
the others. They didn't really have big nyash.
No,
it wasn't about big nyash.
It wasn't about big
talent.
nyash. It was about talent. Yeah,
I'm talent, and I got my mouth.
But that's one thing I always say.
It was about big mouth.
I agree. I always say that back in the day, in terms of when you look at even like video vixens from like the early 2000s, like late 90s, it was natural beauty.
It was kind of what we call banla.
It was natural beauty.
Nigeria.
No, it was really genuinely natural beauty.
Whitney Houston.
Yeah, it was natural beauty.
You were big. If you were tiny, you were tiny.
Exactly.
Celine Dion.
But I don't know when the shift.
Tina Turner.
But then there was a shift.
The shift, that's what AI is saying. The shift started around the same time you were talking about with the likes of the Kardashians and with their ducky lips and Nicki Minaj. So there was a shift from talent to we got to sell this body. But having said that, there would have been a demand for it. That's why supply came. So if BBL, big butts, nyash, breast augmentations, you call them, or lips, are in demand, who are they in demand for? Other women or men?
But in that context, right, I think it would have to be, I don't know if it's other women, but I think more likely to be other men. Because once again, it's when you look at high profile men and the type of women that they're with, I think that also influences people. Because and I don't think we can get away from that. We can't get away from the male gaze. I know some people would like to deny it. Yes, I'm doing this for myself, whatever. Okay, sure. But also, I feel like the male gaze plays a huge role in it.
I like the way you put it. I like what you just said. Go on.
Because if all the I would say influential men or high profile men are only dating women who look a certain sort of way, is only a matter of time before you start to internalize and start to think, oh,
That's what men go
that's
for.
what they want. So
I
I have to,
better
in
look
order to
like that.
attract these type of
Yeah.
men, then I also need to do
And it's
X,
not
Y,
just
Z.
it's not just those without men, it's also those with men at home. Those who have husbands and those who have boyfriends already and wanting to still do that. And they'll say, it's not my husband's wish, it wasn't my boyfriend, it was just, I want to do it for myself. And I like what you said because I've heard that a lot. And I keep saying to the people who tell me, I'm like, you're not doing this for yourself. Think about when it first got into your mind, because I'll tell you how many times I stand and or just be on my own and I'll see a lady walking past, or a young girl, a young woman passing by. And if there was a car parked, they always check the mirror. If there was a mirror on the wall, they always look back at themselves. I'm like, they're very conscious of how they look.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this has been from time immemorial, but quickly going back to history, Big Nyash was a big, how do you call it? It was something of Sarah Batman. I don't know if you know Sarah Batman.
I know Sarah Bartman, yeah.
A woman from the Cohesion, from the South African. She had big buttocks.
Yeah.
The white people brought her here, and she became a subject of ridicule.
Ridicule, yeah.
They put her
In a zoo,
cinemas
yeah.
and zoos for people to watch. Extremely protruding buttocks, that's what they call it. What we call Big Nyash now, BBL. What people pay for to have. Our mother was ridiculed for that. Subject of display. Medical and everybody, they were fascinated. Even when she died, they kept her buttocks waxed and all. That's how sinister and devilish she was. And one time, I think this time, Big Nyash wasn't popular on Instagram or any of these. I came across a video where some black ladies, about 3 of them, were shaking their ass real big, bad, in front of white guys on a yacht. They were the only 3 black people there, women. So I commented, it was really early days. And I thought, this was what Sarah Batman was ridiculed for. And you're freely giving it to the descendants of those who ridiculed Sarah in Europe. And those ladies cost me out like mad. And this was really early days, but now it's just there. It's like buy one, get one free. Everybody's just, it's become so subject of ridicule for black people, including our thick big lips that people so much laughed us with, on our broad forehead. It's now become a thing of beauty where white people are running to get thick ducking lips
Lip fillers
and
all sorts,
butts
yeah.
that makes them look like mosquito walking on a, I don't know. You know what I mean? So when we're talking about future, we have to talk about history.
About history,
These
yes.
were subject of ridicule for us.
Yeah.
You laughed at us. And now it's become what you want, what you so desire, and people die from this as well. But is it actually a standard for beauty for men? I wish we had so many men on this platform.
I mean,
to really ask
I want
them.
to ask you if it's a standard of beauty for you.
No, I keep telling people I never had a standard. But my killer for women was face. I just love a beautiful face.
Yeah.
Love a beautiful face so much. Once your face is gorgeous, I'm sucker for that.
Yeah.
I really don't care about the rest. But like you said earlier, to gaze upon a big nyash is a thing of amazement. That's why they were amazed at the time. To look at big breasts, I don't really go there. I just always thought, look, to be honest, my mom and my mothers and their age mates at the time, they really didn't use bra. They just tied the wrapper.
Yeah.
I saw my mom's breast all the time. I saw women in Nigeria
But
breasts on the
once
street.
again,
It was too big and they complained about it
But
because they say it gave them back pain.
But there wasn't-
So I didn't see that as a source of enjoyment for me, for
Yeah.
me to gaze upon. I saw it as a pain for my mothers.
Yes.
So I thought, you know what? It's not something to look at. Again, big back. This is what I tell people. You are amazed by big back, by big nyash. I said, but if you came to Nigeria, South Africa, or Brazil, this is normal. So Brazilian men and South African men will not be really amazed by big nyash because it's every
It's
girl.
a norm.
But in the UK, where they were panla, they were bonga fish nyash.
Which one is panla and bonga
It's flat.
fish
It's
nyash?
flat. The kind of Kate Moss nyash.
LOL. Okay.
That type of Kate Moss nyash. You know, the princess, the wife to Prince King, the future King Williams, the sister.
Yes.
She got panla, bonga
But
fish
then-
nyash.
but you know
and then
what?
the newspaper
They-
wanted to say that
they
was
tried to
that was the best
convince
ball.
us
I was not having it.
But when I saw that article right a few years ago,
I was not
I
having
was
it.
so confused.
I was not having it.
I was like, really? Is this the best part in the? I was like,
I was
what?
not having that argument because that's typical panla and bonga. There was nothing there, but you tried to sell it to us, but the public was not having it. That's why it didn't sell. And
Yeah,
you see what?
yeah.
So if you came to South Africa or Brazil or Colombia, big nyash is just normal. So parts of Nigeria is just normal. My mom and her mates, that was just normal for them. So it was never a thing for us to gaze upon because It was just there everywhere.
It was a norm, yeah.
But when you came over here and you didn't have it, these men here were almost gays because they were never used to it, whether they were black or white in this country. They never seen big nyash before. All they see was bonga and bala. So when they saw big nyash and BBL and breast augmentation, they were, oh, what is this new phenomenon? So they started saying that was beauty. That was a standard for beauty, and then put indirectly women under pressure. Because like you rightly said, high profile men on TV, the celebrities, for want of a better example, they go with women who got big back, big breasts, and they spend thousands of pounds to do all of this with the big lips.
Especially within our demographic.
Yeah. And when you say our demographic, how do you mean?
When I say our demographic, I mean by race.
So black people?
Yeah.
Black women?
And I say successful black men.
They do. Oh yeah, successful black men follow big nyash.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But no. Oh, okay. But you know what?
Oh, they have big nyash women by then.
I think I always say this, like within different demographics, there's different standards of beauty, right? And in all honesty, in terms of when you look at Caucasians, like I don't think that there is a desire
for big nyash.
In as much as, sorry, black men have desire for big nyash.
But
I mean, tell me if I'm wrong.
So are you telling
me? But let's be for real though. No.
So behind every successful black man is a big nyash.
I don't know about that one.
Okay, that's what
but
you're
all
saying.
I'm saying is that
No, you're right.
It's more common.
But then again, it goes back to the history I was saying. If white women, Caucasian women had big nyash, their men will pick from that. But because the majority didn't have that, we just had it. So you will see why, not fascinated by it, why it would just be numb for us, because we came from a nation where all our women had big nyash.
Yeah.
Or big nyashes.
But then it's also I think the issue is that we then got away from the fact that people have different body types. Not everybody is going to have that, voluptuous shape. It's literally doesn't work that way. And I think it's gotten to a point where, especially I say within our demographic, where women who are not built like, quote unquote, like, built as people with a big, small waist, big bum, they then start to feel inadequate, or they start to feel like, oh, because I don't have a big bum, or I don't have this, or I don't have that, I don't get attention. So that also
matter.
That also feeds into that.
Yeah.
And I know that sometimes people don't want to have these discussions, but that's just the reality of it. Because if you actually dig deep and try to understand why you feel like you need a big bum, what is it for?
I thought it was for not my idea. What I read, I think some time ago in Nigeria, was just for you to be able to sit proper. To cushion the hardship of the whatever you sat at. That was the issue. That was the use of big nyash. Now everybody wanted it as a fashion apparel. It was just for you to sit proper.
In terms of like, if you do a BBL, you can't sit down for...
No, BBL, man. I think that one is different now. That's fake nyash, right?
Yeah,
so that one explodes, right?
I know. I think it depends.
And it wobbles as well.
So, no. Because with Brazilian butt lift, I think you take the fat from other areas in your body and they inject it into your buttocks area. Mm-hmm. So it's just...
Let's flip it. Do men do BBL too, like plastic thing for their peni and all that?
Yeah, but there's a video I watched recently, actually. It was my husband that showed me. And it was a man who went for...
penis enlargement?
No, heightening.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't want to see... I don't want to watch that. They broke his knees and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, good luck with that. You want to become an hero.
Taller.
Yeah, somebody sent it and I just like deleted quick when I saw the caption, like, bye. About to stretch somebody's spinal cord on my phone.
And I was like, really? Is it really? But here's the thing, I think it's just indicative of the society.
Caucasians are winning the battle though. They're winning the fight of big nyash and big nyash. It's no joke. They are liking it now because they are also attracting our high class society black men. And they know that that's what our black men like because it's natural to us. Yeah. So they're doing it. And I see that in our country now.
Yeah.
White girl with big backs.
Yeah.
Would you not agree?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's the norm. They go to gym and they tell us it's because of the gym they're doing. They're getting all that squat. It's a big lie. They only do gym for a couple of weeks while they run to Ankara and come back. And they have the big back and the big nyash. And that's what I see.
But one thing, it also comes to, once again, if you're attracted to a certain sort of man, and you see that this is what they like and this is what they
You
deem
would
as
want to
being
do that
attractive.
too. Yeah.
You
See what
want
you
to
mean.
do that
You
so
want to
that
hang around them.
so that you
Yeah.
can also
Of
then
course.
get the attention.
That can be called shooting your shots as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you know that, okay, I like this
Yeah.
particular group of men,
Yeah.
and in order for me to get any time play, I need to look like
The
this.
certain way,
And
yeah.
if you can afford it, why would you not do it to put yourself in a position
And
where...
on a matter of a serious note, though, I know we've joked about it, but it is also possible that it's a matter of self-esteem. And if that
Yeah.
gives you confidence, it does. Because I'll tell you on the flip side, because Brazilian butt, all of that is women mostly, predominantly women. On the flip, men don't just dye their hair anymore. Bald head men are having full hair. They just bring out a whole full scalp and put it there. I'll call that BBL too. I'll call that surgery or plastic surgery. Men are just doing beard that don't exist.
No, and also, actually, funny enough, like my driving instructor went when I did
The whole teeth
no, he did some hair transplant
thing.
surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he went to Turkey to do it.
Imagine that.
And I was like, oh, but I looked at him, I was like, you don't need it, because he still has a full head of hair. He's like, no, I want to go back to how it was a few years ago. It was nice and full. Now it's thinning. And I remember when he did it, there was a week where he had to cancel our lessons because he was having a headache.
Baba had to cancel lessons, so he lost money just for BBL.
And I don't know when that also became a thing, because I was like...
So, again, for men...
Because typically, right, I'm sorry, like the men in my dad's generation, you go bald. The
You
most they
go
were doing
clean
was
shaven.
dyeing.
Yeah. So
They were dyeing their hair.
You're absolutely right. I'm not going to sit here and boast.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we in my group, Silver Force Squad, had influence in that. And the Silver Force Squad in America had influence in that. Because before the Silver Force Squad in America, men used to dye there. It was very few of us who didn't die.
Yeah.
Then those dudes in America came out. And now everybody is doing it, including our producer. You've seen him today somewhere.
Yeah.
He's left his hair. Then Silver Force Squad UK also influenced that. People started leaving their hair. And a lot of people told us feedback saying, we're confident now to leave our hair. We weren't before because our women are liking it. A lot of women got to us and said, thanks for this you're doing. It's positive image of black people.
Yeah.
So you could tell. And the fuller hair as well.
Yeah.
I've always been lucky with hair. My family, we've been lucky with that. So I play with it. You see the way it looks. I can take it all off and it will grow gradually again. But, so I've never been in that position where I thought of self-esteem regarding hair. So when I discuss those matters of hair and all of that other body parts, I'm quite cautious. Well, as much as we laugh about these things, because for some people it's real esteem matters. Somebody told me he had to go back and take all the whatever they do with their teeth. The way he described it, I thought, oh my God, they took everything and just fixed nails. No, but he said it was for confidence. He never believed he spoke well or people took him serious because of how he looked. I never thought of that as, again, because I've always had this, I think, is perfect set of tools for me.
Yeah.
It was crooked. And he went Turkey and did it. Thousands of pounds. I will kick against that, but I'm also very mindful. I've never had that issue. My issue that I grew up was with, I wanted to be a very tall person. So I wanted to be like at least 6'2". You know, I'm not very short, but I always wanted to be tall. So if there were safe ways to have done that growing up, who knows what I would have done it? And the reason for that was my first, not role models, but first people we were really engaged with were the Hakeem Olajuwons, the basketballers, and they were tall. So I thought, I'm going to be a basketballer and I need to be extremely tall.
Yeah.
That's what I thought growing up. That's the only one. I also had what we call the X leg, the K legs. I don't know how he even changed. Maybe it's because of the tight trousers that were straight in them. So that was a thing of self-esteem for me because my friend said, you run like an X, like an octopus.
Yeah.
And when I was jogging, it was like that. I couldn't play football because they say you got 2 left feet. And there's also the people who have the bow legs.
Yeah,
it's a thing of esteem. One of my mates on Facebook recently said, if not for bow leg, man, that I have, I would have been this, I would have been that. So that means self-esteem for him. This guy is well-to-do in Nigeria, but he's got extreme bow legs. And he's thinking, what is there for me to do? I don't know. Maybe I should say she wear tight trousers, I don't know, to bring them together. So for women as well, why there'll be those who it is something of a self-esteem for them and confidence. For some, it's just, I want to attract that certain type of people.
Yeah. No. It is. And I think from my perspective, I always say this, perhaps it's once again, growing up back home and I don't think I've never felt, or maybe I'm speaking from a privileged position once again. I've never felt like I am unhappy with the way that I look to the extent that I would want to artificially change it. Never felt that way.
But do you feel yourself as someone with big nyash?
I mean, I got a well-shaped nyash. Not a big nyash.
So what? So that's what you said from a privileged background.
No,
Again.
I mean, not in that sense. So I've never really had to, sit and think about it in that way.
Okay, what of these ones? Before I go to that one, have you heard people say big nyash is a burden for them? Those who naturally are endowed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you've never heard it?
No, I think it's more big breast.
Yeah, I'm coming to that.
I have a lot of female friends with big breasts, and they complain about the back pain and all this stuff.
Yes. So it'll be interesting to have one or two of those people sat on the common sense sofa so they can advise people. Another one I've heard, and it's common, is young mothers who then had children very early and start breastfeeding, and they thought that their breast, which was pointed out, fell flat because of the breastfeeding. It became what society calls slipper breasts.
All right.
And they had a nickname for that, and it became self-esteem thing. So if those ones went to do the breast augmentation, because breast augmentation is just lifting it up, right?
Yeah,
it's not adding things to it.
You can do breast uplift.
That would just be lifting your normal breast. You don't put anything in it.
You don't put anything in it.
Okay.
And there are people that actually put
things in they take other body parts and put it.
Put silicone and all that stuff.
Oh, that's the one that explodes.
Yeah. Remember there was a
So breast uplift. So people can actually lift the breast that's falling down.
Yeah.
Naturally, and not do anything. They will still have to cut them,
but
right?
It's still surgery though, because
they have to cut them.
Yeah, you have to cut them.
So it's still risky.
Yeah. I mean,
boy, the things people do to get just to be beautiful for men.
Yeah, which is why probably because I'm the only time I ever want to do surgery if it's a matter of life and death.
And do we still?
If it's not a matter of life and death, I don't understand.
And women go through that. We ask them, "What do you bring to the table?" When they bring a big breast and big nyash, ain't that enough for what they bring to the table?
That's a question for your gender.
Because of my gender. If I was a woman and I had to go through that for a guy, they've lost all rights and privilege to ask me, what are you bringing to this table? Because it's a big breast and a big nyash.
Well, that's what they're bringing to the table.
Hey, God.
Yes.
This is really a deep issue.
Yeah. No, it is. And I think for me, the issue or what I have a problem with is when I see young women who haven't fully developed actually wanting to then do these type of surgeries, and I'm like, you're 15, why are you getting your lips done? You haven't even, because I think your body changes so much at that age, and because they see it and then they're having body dysmorphia, or they think that there's something wrong with them because they feel like they have to look a certain way. And it's quite sad because when maybe growing up, I didn't think that was much of an issue as it is now for teenagers, young women now, growing up. I think it's more of a pronounced issue and a problem. And that's what I think it's quite disheartening.
And even in Nigeria, where it was natural, women just had big backs and all of that, increasingly women are doing BBLs now.
Yeah.
In Nigeria.
But I don't know if you know, I think there was I can't remember the lady's name, where she did an interview. She lives in Nigeria. She's like, people want to talk about, why is everyone doing BBL? But she was like, before she did her body, the opportunities that she was getting weren't close to what she gets now. Now that she's done her body.
She's in the movie industry?
Yeah, sort of. And she was talking, she was like, people will be like, oh no, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? But she was like, the proof is in the pudding. Once you get your body done, she's like, the opportunities that you get, and this is her living in Nigeria.
The story is a predator
she's like,
and the prey.
Increases exponentially. So from her perspective, she's like, people will be talking and talking, but at the end of the day, she's like, since I did this body, you know how many jobs I've been getting, or how many people have been approaching me to come and do this, come and do that. So she's like, it's a lie. People like it.
People do like it. I hope I haven't said I don't like big nyash. No. But I don't hunt for big nyash because again, growing up, it was all around me. So if water was all around you, you would never have any. You would not see water and start rejoicing. I tell people, I say, if you want to see this, go Nigeria, go South Africa, go all these places. Brazil, you see that it's natural.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just natural for us. So
for
norm, them,
yeah,
it's a norm back home. So, but I never hunted that. My soft and weakest point for women was just the face. If a woman had a fine face, man, Jesus, I was done. And don't want to go there, but also natural hair. He just did it for me. I just go mental. And that's not left me still. So, hey, that's it for me. So, yeah, um, BBL, standard of beauty. Well, it's a beauty is in the eyes of the what?
Beholder.
So, on that note, we've done justice to this. We've added our 2 bits of common sense to it. And for those people who have a serious self-esteem problem and confidence problem, do what you have to do, but do it in a safe way. Seek advice. You got parents, you got friends, seek advice, because a lot of stuff is happening out there. And it's not just women, it's men and women who are doing a lot to their body just for confidence and for self-esteem. Self-esteem. So if it was your hair, your beard, your teeth, your bum, your nyash, your breast, do it safely because some of us have these things naturally. So we might not know what it is not to have them because they say you don't know what you got until you don't have it. On that note, take care.